Hey everybody, J.R. Fisher here. I want to jump on here real quick and talk to you about 5 things that you may be doing that are holding you back. You're literally doing these things, and that's what's preventing you from getting where you want to be. And, oh yeah, and stay in here because the last one I'm going to give you is the fatal one. If you're doing this one thing, you're done, okay? And there's only 5 things, but these 5 things can really mess you up. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is, number 1, people who aren't succeeding, people who are losers, whatever, they can't handle pressure. Can't handle it. They don't know what to do with it. They just think, oh my God, this pressure, this is so horrible, I can't. The first thing they do when they encounter a problem or things going wrong is they quit. They just stop. They don't do anything anymore. And it's like the strongest trees, they say, don't grow in the best soil. They grow in the what? Strongest winds. So that pressure against that tree makes that tree try harder and harder and harder. And what remains is a really tough, badass tree. Okay, so that's what we need to think about. And it's how you react to these situations too. I remember it was just a few years ago, and it's taken me years to get here. I was not always the way where I would look at a bad situation and go, yay, this is great, this is an opportunity. I didn't do that. It took me a long time to get to that stage, but I remember I was going on a trip and my wife was going to give me a ride to the airport. So we went outside and I had one car parked in the street and I had one car parked in the driveway. Her car was parked in the driveway. And we looked over at the driveway and lo and behold, her car was gone. And I looked at her and I said, your car got stolen, we're gonna have to take my car. She says, how do you know that? I said, well, it's not there, okay? So there's a clue. But I said, look at it this way. Your car got stolen, but I'm telling you, it's going to turn into a really great situation. And I at the time, she looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no, you never know. This could turn into a really great situation. And lo and behold, what happened was the insurance company really took care of us. She got a much nicer car. She didn't really like the car she had. Only had like 15,000 miles on it, but she didn't like it. So the point is, it's hard to do it in the moment. It's really hard to do it in the moment where you say, yeah, this is a bad situation and I'm so glad it happened because there's an opportunity. But that really is what is going on in life. That's how life does it. And how you react to that negative situation will determine if you're really going to get a good outcome or a bad outcome out of it. And if you react that, yes, this problem is an opportunity, it gives me a chance to really double down and do something, then you're going to do really well. Now, the next thing that is really a killer, and this is number 2, is having a really negative self-image. And this self-image thing, this is something that, you develop over the years, as a child, as you grow into your teens, as you grow into an adult, and based on events that happen to you, you develop this self-image, okay? Now, maybe you didn't have parents that told you were the sweetest thing in the world. Maybe you didn't have parents. Maybe you had bad parents, maybe you were abused, whatever, but you've got to understand that was their issue. That's not your issue. If your perception is that you're not going to succeed and you don't do well at things and you're not that smart, then guess what? That's what you're going to get. But if you start to say, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to try to figure it out. And I want to back up a little bit because I was on the phone with a friend the other day. And we were talking about him being able to sell some stuff online. And one of the things he said to me, he says, well, a lot of that stuff's just over my head. I'm not real smart about that stuff. And I said, well, of course you're not. I wasn't either until I learned it. If you don't know it, how can you be smart about it? It's impossible. So you got to try and you got to learn it. And you can't tell yourself that you can't learn things or you can't do things. Because if you consistently do that, you'll consistently not get ahead. You'll consistently, not be successful. I know one thing, and I jotted it down, that Zig Ziglar once said. He says, you cannot consistently perform in a manner that is inconsistent with the way you see yourself. So don't expect yourself to do great and be all motivated and pumped up and, feeling great if, in fact, you have this low self-image of yourself. And how do you change that? You just do. You just start telling yourself, I can do things, I can accomplish things, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to keep trying until I figure it out. And believe me, I'm not a quick learner on things. A lot of times I'll get into like a new ads platform or some way of building pages or something, and it's just like, whoa, this is so difficult. I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh my God, it's so hard. But I just say to myself, I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. And pretty soon I'll start figuring out parts of it, and I'm not going to quit until I do. And, that's kind of what winners do. They say, well, how many books would a winner read to be successful? Well, the answer to them is as many as it took. Whatever it took, they're going to do that. And that's the kind of the attitude you got to get. Now, the next one is number 3. It's how you play in the game. Losers play to not lose. Winners play to win. Okay? So a loser has the attitude with, man, I hope I don't mess this up. I hope this doesn't get screwed up. I hope I do this wrong. Don't do it wrong. I'm going to try, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. And with that attitude, you're not going to do well. If you say, I'm going to try and see what happens, you're not going to do well. But if you go into it all in and you say, I'm going to succeed at this and I'm going to do whatever it takes, and sure, I'm going to hit some bumps in the road. I'm going to have some failures. Things are going to go wrong. But if you do that, overall, you're going to do really well. And here's the crazy thing about this. This one little thing, this all-in attitude, really has to do with the entire way you handle stuff. Because, you're probably, if you're good at, one thing, you're probably good at a lot of things. If you're bad in one area, if you're overeating and, over drinking and never exercising and not getting enough rest, you're probably not great on your job. So all of these little things do matter. It is all of the little things that matter. People say, well, it's a small thing. It really doesn't matter. It's just a little thing. It doesn't matter. It all matters. It matters when you're cooking dinner, how well you cook it and what it looks like when it gets on the plate. And it matters when you're mowing your lawn and how good that lawn turns out. And it matters when you go and stay in a hotel room that you leave it in decent order, you don't mess it up. Because all of these things are building your self-image. And if you're doing your best at everything you do, whether it's brushing your teeth or combing your hair or dressing your body, whatever it is, or taking care of your kids or being responsive to your spouse, whatever it is, those things are going to spill over into your success. How could they not? So, you need to have that attitude. Number 4, if you're counting here, is losers really never are committed. They don't really commit. People who are doing a lot of really great things and being really successful, they have bought in. They've done everything they need to do to buy in. They've committed themselves to do that, and they act upon it, okay? Losers keep researching, and they don't really kind of get going. They go, well, let me check this out. Let me do this. And you're not going to have this perfect plan of everything working out exactly the way you think. Sometimes we'll have people say to me, well, how did you end up creating a course on e-commerce? And I'm like, well, it started off selling cell phone cases, and then it went to selling survival products, and then it went to having a survival food line, and then it went to coaching a few people, and then it went to, writing some stuff and some blogs and doing some videos, and then it went to the course. So there's my straight line. I didn't have one. And it's more like ready, fire, aim. Okay? In other words, get ready and get going, and you can always change your direction. You can always change the direction you're going and react to what's happening around you and in the market and what softwares come along and what opportunities hit you. But you've got to get started. You got to just do something, even if it's not great. Okay? This video, probably not great. Maybe one in 2 or 3 years I do from now will be a whole lot better. But the point is, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get out there and do it, communicate a little bit, share with you. I'm going to definitely do that. But you can always adjust as you go. You're not stuck with where you're at. And then the last one, which I think is super, super important, this is the one that kills a lot of people, is they aim too low. They aim too low based on what's already happened in their life or what they think their capabilities are. You've got to, if your plans don't sound crazy to some people, then you're not shooting high enough. Some people just shoot so low. Elon Musk said he wanted to colonize Mars. What? Richard Branson said he wanted to take people in space for a vacation. Insane, right? But the average person doesn't shoot any higher than the ceiling in their house. So, if you're not shooting for the stars, you'll probably hit the moon if you shoot for the stars. We've all heard that. If you're shooting really, really low, saying, well, if I could just make another $1,000 a month, I'd be happy. If I could just do that. How about you replace your entire income and make $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 a month? And you say, well, that's crazy. I couldn't do that. Why not? Why not do that? Why not do that? My wife and I have some goals now, and we put little stickers everywhere so that we can hit those goals to remind ourselves to do the things we need to do to hit those goals. And we don't do little goals. We do what we think are bigger goals for us. And I think about it, Martin Luther King. What was his speech? Everybody knows Martin Luther King's speech, right? He stood in front of tens of thousands of people, And he didn't say, okay, I have this SMART goal, S-M-A-R-T, which is the old way of setting goals, which is BS. He didn't say that. What did he say? He says, I have a dream. I've got a dream. Now, do you have a dream? Do you have something that you want to do? I mean, you know, here's your bonus, and your bonus is this. Sometimes you need to kind of step back from where you're at. And people have a hard time with that. I know, I had a really good corporate job, but I worked a lot of hours, didn't like it, had drove new cars every, I think 6 weeks or something like that. And when I quit my job, what did I do for a car? I bought a $5,000 used car, and I drove that for, first year or two, I guess, something like that. We were lucky, we did well. But it was a step down. It wasn't, I didn't go out and buy a nice car and big payments on the car because I knew I couldn't do the payments because I was starting my own business. And when you start your own business, you don't have that extra money to do that. To this day, I don't really care much about cars. But the point is, a lot of people will get the big house and they get all the bedrooms and they get the big yard and they're out there trying to impress their neighbors. They don't want to step back at all, but they're going to stay in a job that pays for all this, pays for these extra dining rooms and living rooms they never ever go in, and these extra bedrooms that they never use, so that they can impress all these people around them, their friends and family, and say, look how I live. Look how fancy I live. I've got four-wheelers out there, and I've got a boat that I never get a chance to go on because I'm always at work. Isn't that cool? And they spend the next 30 or 40 years doing that to impress a bunch of people they don't even like. They don't even like them. That's a shame. I mean, that really is a shame to do that. What if they were to just step back a little bit, cut back their expenses, give them some more time, give them some more money, invest in a business, and they could grow it to something that would be far greater than where they're at. But they're afraid of looking bad to their friends and family and people they don't even like. So they keep working that job, they keep working those hours, and then one day they die, and then it's too late. So that's my bonus to you. Step back a little bit. Don't be afraid to step back a little bit. You don't have to impress anybody but yourself. You're not competing with anybody. My wife and I were having that conversation the other night. It's so funny how you always think you're competing with this person or that person, and you're really not. The only competition you have is right here, okay? And if you keep that in mind and you understand that the only competition you have is you, that's it, then you'll never be a loser at all because you're always trying to get ahead. And even if you fall down, you're falling forward, right? You're not falling backwards. You're falling forward because you're moving forward. You're doing something. So anyhow, I just want to share that with you today. Not real e-commerce-y, right? It's not real online sales marketing stuff, but sometimes you need to hear this so you can get into the online sales, so you can get into selling more products, so you can get into learning these other things. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, got some bonuses for you. There's a free course. I put a link in the description. You can grab that. That funnel's kind of messed up right now, so it may try to sell you something. Don't worry about that. Grab my free course. I also wrote a book on how to find a profitable product to sell online. You can click on that link and go grab my book, which is really cool. You'll like that. Oh, and do me a favor. Make sure you like this and share it. The more you share, the more you get back. Have you ever thought about that? So if you share this, who knows what you'll get back, right? And put a comment down there. If you're watching this on Facebook, don't forget to share it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. I want to hear if you've had some experience with these situations too. Were you kind of stuck at one point in some of these areas with those 5 things and something changed? I know it did for me, so I hope it does for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the little bell. And then I can notify you every time I do a video, which is kind of cool too. So that's it. That's all I got. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you real soon. Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.